Here we go. Let's get started. As always, I am Lanisha Holland, your favorite mompreneur and lifestyle coach for all of my fabulous moms that boss. I help moms launch and grow their online businesses so they can leave their 9 to 5 like I did. 9 to 5. I think it said farm by accident, but 9 to 5 like I did. This week's success workshop, we're going to be talking about tracking our numbers for our business. Like, oh my God, I have gotten the biggest wake up call ever. Yes, I have been tracking my numbers, but not to the extent of me learning recently on how to do it and how to use it to my advantage to actually grow my business. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that because it's crucial to the success of your business for you to be able to know what you have going on. And whether you like it or not, you are a salesperson. You are the salesperson for your business, whether it is an e-commerce store or you are a service-based business. If you are a small business, then you are the face of that business. You are your salesperson, unless you have a team that you have hired to do some of the sales for you, or you have a partner. So if you don't like to call yourself that, I want you to get out of that right now. I've been doing sales since 2007, fresh out of college. And every sales job I have ever had, there has always been a stress on tracking your numbers, from the amount of calls that you have taken, for the amount of actual meetings that you have set up, how many of those meetings that you actually went to and the decision maker, actually met with you, whatever the case may be. I remember when I was doing door-to-door sales, we called it our tracking sheet. And every single business that I went to, I would have to write it down on my tracking sheet. And I would have notes next to each business. And every single day, daily, I would rewrite my tracking sheet. So I would go back and before I left the office, I would rewrite my tracking sheet for the next day. So I knew which businesses I had to go back to, because throughout the day I would be crossing them off, which ones I either were able to close, or they're just not a good fit, or whatever the case may be, and then I would start fresh. So it is crucial that you are tracking your numbers. And here is why. One, you do not know where you are going unless you know where you have been. So you need to be able to see what you have going on. Two, you need to be able to set SMART goals. You can't set SMART goals if you have no idea what's working, what isn't working, or anything like that. And you have to be able to set your future projections for your business, like for the next year or the next quarter, or maybe even next week. But you need to be able to have your numbers in front of you so you can see what your next plan, your next actions are to reach your goal that you have set for yourself. Okay. So those are the main reasons why you need to have your numbers in front of you. So like I said, I got my handy dandy notebook here. So the first step into tracking your numbers is, every single day, you should have your activities, your revenue generating activities. Remember, guys, people are not going to do business with you when they most of the time, they're not going to do business with you the first time they meet you. It's like, okay, you're just meeting someone and they want to take you out of the country and like all this, and you're like, wait, whoa, hold up, I don't even know you, I'm not going out of the country with you. Like, baby steps here, baby steps. So it takes about 7 to 8 times for a person to touch bases with you, touch points, before they actually start thinking about doing business with you. So you need to make sure that you're doing revenue generating activities every single day for your business. That could be maybe you're running Facebook ads or Instagram ads or whatever. That is a touch point. You are nurturing your email list. That's a touch point. You're getting in there and you're engaging with your followers on social media. That's a touch point. How many times throughout the day have you spoken to someone and actually asked them to buy from you, whether it be through any of those channels? So you have to make sure that you are doing your revenue generating activities every single day, and you got to figure out what are your revenue generating activities for your business, for your service, or whatever it is that you have going on. Okay, so once you have that down, then you of course need to, again guys, I want to make sure I'm not going out of order here with you. You need to set your goals for yourself. So your goals are, once you have your revenue generating activities, now you have your goals. So once you have your goal set, now you know exactly how much of that thing that you need to do. And once you are tracking your numbers on a daily basis or a weekly basis, you can start to analyze them and see what's working for you. Okay, so maybe now you have figured out for every 400 people that come to your website, one person buys. Or for every 20 people that you follow up with, one person now converts to a customer. So now you know what your numbers are. Now you know what you have to do. Okay? So you have to set your activities, then you have to set your goals so that you have to figure out how many of each you need to be doing daily, weekly, quarterly, yearly, whatever, to actually hit your goals. All right. So once you have that figured out, next, you have to actually create habits for yourself. So how often are you going to be making sure that you're writing down your activity? Depending on what it is, you may have to do it daily. Some activities I do daily, some activities I do weekly. So it kind of depends. You need to judge that for yourself. For example, for me, I will go and I will look and see how many website hits I've gotten for the entire week instead of looking at it daily. I track my activity on my Facebook ads. I also tracked my activity for my social media pages. Like guys, so in your back office for pretty much all of the platforms that you're using, if you have social media accounts, you should really convert them over to business accounts and not necessarily just personal ones. For example, your Instagram. So that way you can see the analytics. So you see all of the numbers, and then you can use that information. Again, you're supposed to be tracking this stuff. You can use that information for your projections, for your goal setting, and things like that. Okay. So after you have figured out how often you're going to be doing that, next you need to figure out your system. How are you going to track these things? An Excel spreadsheet is probably the easiest thing for you to do. So now you pull all of your reports, all of your analytics, figure out what exactly you want to track for yourself, and you put it in an Excel spreadsheet. And then you can analyze your numbers. Once you have enough data, again, you have to be able to see what you have going on. Once you have enough data, then you can start to see the patterns. So what revenue generating activities were you doing when you had that spike in your sales, or when you had that spike of people engaging on your social media, or what email did you send out on that day where you had a lot of high percentage of open rates? Like, now you know what kind of content that your followers mostly like. So that way you can adjust what you're doing to meet your clients where they are. All right. And then lastly, make sure you're making it a habit. Habits. Habits are so important. So don't just do it for a little bit and then give up on it, and then you've taken like 3 months off, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I stopped tracking my numbers and now I have no idea what I'm doing. And then now things have fallen off or whatever the case may be. And I know that because it has happened to me. Again, I was not tracking to the extent that I am now, but it is so much better. And I will give you the perfect example. So I had been collecting some data for about 2 months for my sales funnel, and it wasn't really converting the way that I wanted it to convert. So my coaches, yes, your coach, Leisha, has her own coaches as well. So I went over my numbers with my coach and we looked at a bunch of things, and we realized even though I was getting a nice amount of leads in, we realized they were not going all the way through the process because the video in my sales funnel was too long. And how did I discover that my video was too long? Because I could see the numbers and see how far the average, the amount of people were getting through the video. So they weren't finishing the whole thing. And I would have never known that if I did not analyze my numbers. I would have just thought, this thing is not working. But that wasn't the case. I just needed to make an adjustment to fix the issue. And I would have never known what the actual issue was if I would have never analyzed my numbers. See the importance of that? So gather your data, do your activities, track your data, analyze your data, figure out where you need to make some adjustments, and then go rock out, be great. And I will see you guys later. If you have questions, again, drop them and I will answer them. And I will see you later. Bye.